Good afternoon from here. Today we'll be looking at the topic indices, and we'll be looking at some of the laws of indices, probably the first law alone. Now, indices has to do with various operations that has powers, okay, how we can combine numbers with powers, either through multiplication or division, and so on and so forth. So we'll be looking at the first law of indices, and that law is this. The law says a raised to the power of b times a raised to the power of c is equals to a raised to the power of b plus c. Now this is what we call the first law of indices, or we call it the multiplication law. Now, what does it law? How is it being applied? It's very simple. What you just have to do is to check their bases. If the bases are the same, you pick it, and then as long as what you have is multiplication, you sum up the powers. That's why it's called the multiplication law. You sum up the powers. So for example, if I have 2 raised to the power of 5 times 2 raised to the power of 6, since the bases are the same, I'm having 2, then I sum up the powers 5 plus 6. So let's take another example. Minus 3 times minus 3 raised to the power of 5. You see this? Now the bases are the same. Yes, minus 3. I'll write it down. Next, the powers. What's the power here? The power here is 1. Remember, that's invisible. So 1 plus 5. So my answer is minus 3 raised to the power of what? Raised to the power of 6. Now remember, the multiplication law of indices applies when the bases are the same. If the bases are not the same, you can't apply the multiplication law. This multiplication law is also true for fractions. Example, 1 over 4 raised to the power of 6 times 1 over 4 raised to the power of 2. The bases are not the same. Yes, so our answer is 1 over 4 raised to the power of 6 plus 2, which is 1 over 4 raised to the power of 8. So that is what the multiplication law is all about. It's all about checking their bases if they are the same, and when you have multiplication, simply add up their powers. I hope you have learned something today from this